because he has 2 warrants out for his arrest. He has 1 open warrant in Pennsylvania, where if he is caught in Pennsylvania, he will be arrested. But more importantly, the one that we're talking about tonight is the warrant out of Florida. It is based in Alachua County, Florida, and it is based on an event that happened this July. The information has been out there for a long time. The videos have been out there. The police reports have been out there. People have posted them online, and they have seen what his charges are. People can say he doesn't have a warrant. That's fine. Tonight we'll, answer any of those questions without a shadow of a doubt that indeed he has a warrant. So that bullshit that those handful of people are trying to push over here on TikTok should be squelched tonight. And if they're not, they're just stupid. And they will never, ever, ever be reasonable to the fact that enough proof is out there, enough evidence is out there. If they choose not to believe it, that's them. So we're going to handle this live tonight in a couple ways. First of all, my position on Florida Men has been very clear. I started a GoFundMe. Originally, it was going to be to hire a private investigator to track down where Mike is in this country. Lucky enough, in the box here, Guardians of Valor. Anybody who doesn't know him, he is a retired from the Navy after a successful and honored career. He has a number of connections throughout the United States, and we've already had private investigators working on tips that we've received. And thanks to Guardians of Valor, because of the fact that he knows and is respected by so many people around the country, they are doing that work for free. So once he had, GoFundMe was then changed prior to me posting it for a reward for information leading to the arrest of Michael Kinney, who is known as Florida Man. This is a kind of 2 different reasons why I'm doing this, and you're going to hear the other part of it tonight. I personally have had it with Florida Man, as hundreds of people on this app have, especially his victims. And, a couple weeks ago, there were a couple things that he did on this app towards people that were just deplorable. And that's what made me snap with Mike. And I sat here and I thought to myself, this guy thinks that he is getting away scot-free because he doesn't have a residence that he lives in. The address he has is a residence. He hasn't been there for a while. He is in his van traveling around the country, trying to stay safe out of the line of vision of police. And he's going to continue to attack people on this app. And the only thing that's going to stop him is if he's off TikTok. And the only way he's going to be off TikTok is if he has to answer to the crime that he committed down in Florida. As I've stated previously, the warrant that is out for his arrest, that there are people that don't believe there's a warrant, is good in all 50 states. And when he is picked up in any of those states, he will be extradited to Florida to answer to the allegations of his crime. And I say allegations because there are still people that say, oh, well, you're innocent until proven guilty, which I agree with. I mean, that's the way that our system of justice works. But when there's so much proof out there that he was involved in this burglary, there's pictures of him. There's video evidence of him. There's video evidence of him with a van. It's pretty cut and dry. So the people that support him will say allegations and he's innocent until proven guilty. But the way that I look at it is based on the evidence that I've seen. It's just a matter of time. If he wasn't guilty, why hasn't he turned himself in? I mean, he made comments about SP last year when she had an open warrant, and she was picked up on that. His comment was pretty much that she was a POS because she knew she had that warrant and she was being a pussy and didn't turn herself in. So, you know, maybe you should follow what you say there, Mr. Kinney. The people in the boxes, and I'm sure, you know, anybody else that came in late that has been working with me and other people here, if you'd like to join a box, you can. If not, you don't have to. You know, it's absolutely up to you. At the top here, Guardians of Valor, he has been helping behind the scenes with contacting people in law enforcement and private investigators to follow up on any leads we get. Scam Slam has been working behind the scenes. We've been getting information. We've been, you know, looking through things regarding his live. And she helped with one big thing tonight that we are going to play for you a little later. Breezy at the bottom. She's the one that set up the live tonight with the owner of Swamped Collectibles, which is the business that was burglarized of over $100,000 worth of merchandise. And he'll tell you a little bit about that tonight. So what I'm going to do first, Breezy, do you have him? Is he all set?
I've got it ready to.
Okay, thanks.
The sound's going to work good.
Yep. Talk to the chief. I don't know who the chief is. I didn't talk to the chief. I talked to the investigating officer that actually did the investigation and did the paperwork for the investigation. I spoke with him and I told him what I was doing, and his comment was, "Oh, that's great. Hopefully that will help. Let me give you something else that might help. And this is our tip line." So I'm not sure. A little surprised that she didn't put the person's name out there. If he's the chief of police, anybody can look that up. But, you know, that's fine with me. I really, there's a lot of people that don't agree with a GoFundMe. But I guarantee you what, if it was a GoFundMe for somebody, that robbed their place of business or has done the terrible things that Florida Man has done to people on this app, if it was them, I'm sure they would have supported that GoFundMe. So, yep. You know what? Instead of modding, you know, depending on what they're saying, just get them the hell out of here. I really don't care. So, yes, the money's going to be refunded if he's caught and there was no information from TikTok. So, how are we doing? We all set, Breeze?
All right. Andy, say hey and see if she can hear you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hi, Andy. Welcome.
How's it going?
It's going well. I appreciate you taking time out of your life. I know you're very busy right now, you know, and which coincides with what we're talking about tonight, because I know that you're in the midst of doing some things regarding your business, and we'll talk about that a little later on here. You know, again, thanks for taking some time. I want to give the people here a little bit of background, you know, about your business and all that. So you are the owner of Swamped Collectibles, correct?
Yeah.
And what city are you in Florida?
So we operate out of Waldo, Florida. It's a really small little city, about 1,000 people or so live there. But it's right outside of Gainesville, Florida, which is a much.
Yeah. Which colleges in Gainesville?
University of Florida, the Gators.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yep. How long have you owned this business?
So I've been open out of that location for out of that flea market for about 3 years. I've been open out of that particular building. The market changed ownership and changed management. I got into the building I'm in now. But I've been running it online for a very long time, over a decade.
So over a decade, you've had a store, whether it be a virtual online or brick and mortar, which you had at this flea market. This flea market, is it something that was open just on weekends, or how did that work?
They're only open on weekends, and I think they're open Wednesdays, but there's generally not many people there. But there's a handful of like permanent vendors there that are open at other hours as well.
Right. So
and they have like an antique one, which is kind of cool.
So you had this storefront at this flea market in your city, or in the town that you were in, and you would open up on the weekends, and then for the rest of the week it would be locked up, and you would focus in on your online. Is that what you did?
Well, we would like take a point. Generally open on Wednesdays as well, because that's like a big day for us to go in, do a bunch of like shipping and stuff. So we kind of figure, hey, open the door, maybe people will come in. But if you want to like make an appointment outside of like store hours, that's something that's possible. But generally, yeah, mainly open on weekends.
So you said, how long have you personally been collecting cards for?
Oh, that's really, I've never really been able to pinpoint that, because I was basically a toddler. I found my brother's old Pokemon cards from when, like, the first Pokemon. It was all downhill from there.
So was that like the 80s, 90s?
They came out in like the 90s, but I'm a little bit younger, so I'd say probably like 203 maybe.
Oh wow! So you've
I was like a little kid.
so these have been a part of your life, and decided that you wanted to go into the collectibles, into the card bit.
Oh yeah, I'd been doing a large amount of collecting and like even playing up until probably like 2013, when somebody showed me how to use eBay, and I got really fed up with one of the Yu-Gi-Oh decks I was playing at the time.
Right.
So I was like, I hate this deck now. I'm going to go sell it on eBay, and it sold in like a day. So I was like, well, that was really easy. I'm still doing it again. Just not on eBay.
I think that's great. My father, avid baseball collector, baseball card collector and all that. And you and Breezy and I had been commenting in Discord a little about collectible baseball cards and sports cards and all that. I went ahead and I had sold a bunch of them on eBay. And, once you get that taste where, you make your sales and you make money off of it, it is kind of an exciting thing to realize how many people you can reach on eBay, and people are interested in your cards. And, you know, it sounds like when you did that first deck that you sold, you were like, oh, okay. You know, and that kind of started out your, you know, the pretty cool.
Yeah, I started trading for other cards, and I was like, I don't need this card, but I see it sells pretty well online. And then it evolved into, wait a minute, I could buy cards off of people, which they need money more than they need cards.
Yep.
And it just slowly evolved into a full-on huge business at this point, where we're going to different shows and we have a little brick and mortar. And
right. So your business is chugging along. You're making private appointments. Tell us a little about what your store, you know, what your store sold in it. Did you sell anything besides Pokemon cards?
Well, we also did like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, One Piece, Lorcana, like other collectible cards as well. But we also do like video games. We do like mixed media, so we have like some VHS and DVD, Blu-ray stuff.
I'm glad you mentioned that about the games, because that's going to come up a little later in this live. And I think you probably know why. So,
yeah, we actually did take a little bit of video games. She took all my Dreamcast stuff, which is like, that's the most annoying thing, because it's like, now I just don't have Dreamcast games.
Yeah. Well, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit. So, your business is humming along. You know, you're making your appointments, you're meeting with people Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. July comes around to this year. Okay. What was the date that your store was broken into?
I can't, it's hard to remember the exact day at this point, but it was sometime between the 7th and the 11th.
Wasn't the weekend? Was it a weekday?
It was a Thursday.
Okay.
It was a Thursday, because I was there that day that he actually broke it. I almost caught him in the act as he was trying to, like, if you watch the full length of the cameras, he was behind my store kind of like a couple minutes before I was there.
Yeah, and I'm showing the video from your page right now of him leaving a van, and he's exiting his van and he's walking towards the store right now. So the date on the security videotape that you have on there is July 9th. July 9th of this year. So how were you, what was that? I'm sorry, Andy.
I just said I'm terrible with dates.
Oh, no, it's okay. No, the date on the security cam says July 9th, 7/9. So how were you notified of the fact that there had been a disturbance in your building?
The owner of the property, basically the landlord, had sent me a text message when he had found out.
Okay, and, you know, how did he find out? Did he look at the video of, you know, the security camera video? Did he see that there was glass broken? How was he aware that something had happened?
So from my understanding, one of the maintenance people at the property was walking by my store and he saw the window busted out and he went, oh no, called the owner, who then called me, and it was like 7 or 8 in the morning, so I was still asleep. So he sent me a text message. I woke up like 20 minutes later and saw it and got there as soon as I could. I literally just like raced right into the car.
So, and what you said, Andy, was that you had just been there that day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In fact, in hindsight, I feel really stupid. But there was like a lock. You know those locks where there's like a padlock and there's like a big bar that goes through it?
Yeah.
I had one on my back door, which is ultimately how he entered the business because he couldn't get his big butt through the window after he broke that out. He couldn't leave me one thing to repair nose, but I noticed that it was like a little a month prior when somebody had cut one of my padlocks to get into my refrigerator for water.
Right.
So I was like, maybe it was just that, you know, I kind of just didn't think much of it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at some comments here. I told Andy ahead of time, okay, we're not going to put out any information that is not in the police report. Okay, so there's questions that I see in the comments, some specific things. We're not going to discuss that. The one thing that I told Andy is we are not going to hinder the prosecution's case against Michael. So, there ask them. So I appreciate the questions in the chat to discuss there. Okay, Andy, so you pull in.
About it is that it was not social media that actually identified him. They identified him prior to anybody on social media telling me.
Right, and how did they? And I know that this is part of the police report, so this is something you could talk about. How were they able to figure out it was him?
Oh, they just ran his tag. We had his tag number.
Yep.
Yes, priors for stealing Magic Gathering cards at a Walmart.
Yep.
I believe it was.
Yep, you got that right. Yep. So when you go into your store, when you go into your store, Andy, tell us what you saw.
So the first thing I see is because my front door has I want to call it a 2x3 foot window,
Right.
And that's just shattered out. That you use to shatter a car window if you're thinking of water. It just kind of spider webs the glass.
Yep.
He used one of those.
Yep. So you see the broken window, and obviously, I'm sure your heart sinks because you have
especially because the direct view into that window is where all the cases that he took were lined up. So as soon as you see in the window, you just see they're all gone.
Yeah. So what? Give us merchandise that was taken out of there. The things that were missing from your store. General would be good.
It was 19 full showcases. Basically, the most expensive cards from our store were all stored in these locked showcases.
Yeah.
Some of which that were even just lift them up. Some of which he just ripped right off of the table or whatever they were secured down to. But they were all filled with cards, all of which, except for two, which were filled with our Dreamcast selection, a handful of other rare Sega items. Let's see, that would be our like in-box Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo stuff. As well as he grabbed some stuff from behind the counter, like a case of, it was actually one shy of a full case of complete unopened in the box Pokemon Stadiums from Japan. That was kind of a cool item that we had.
Yeah.
He took all the graded games we had behind the counter. He grabbed a few boxes of cards that we had from behind the counter as well.
Andy, did you saw the video of his live where he was showing cards and he was showing games and all that on TikTok? You've seen that video, correct?
Yes.
How were you able to identify that those were your items?
Well, for one, a lot of those cards, he even says it in the video, are one of a kind. There's only one in the world of some of them.
Wow.
Some of them have unique damage as well. Like there's a Shining Charizard where there's actually, you know, when you like put tape on the front of a card and then you remove the tape.
Yep.
Sometimes some of the front of the card comes off.
Yep.
Well, there was a Shining Charizard, which is, you know, in mint condition, a few $1,000s. That had an example of that. That's, you know, obviously that's unique damage because the piece of it's still there and attached to it.
Right.
But like, you're never going to be able to recreate that exact pattern of paper being ripped off the front of taking the front of the card with it. And then also, he didn't even bother to like change my price tags.
So yeah.
Just like, that's my card with my price tag. That's my card with my price tag. That's my price tag with my fingerprint on it. Because I always press down with my thumb, make sure that the sticker's on there.
Right. So, what was the what card did you have that was the most expensive that was taken? Like ballpark figure.
If I can recall correctly, it would be the Crystal Lugia that we had in the showcase. That would be, I think we had that stickered for $4,000.
Wow. Wow.
But the best way to calculate it out is there were 17 showcases full of cards, and they all hold, let's see, what is 8 times 14?
100 and what was that, Breeze?
116?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Somewhere around that, yeah.
112.
Okay.
So those were showcases that he took.
All the cards we had in the case were about $50 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So if they all hold about 112 cards, and you know, you can see how that adds up pretty quick.
Right. Now, when I hear showcases, okay.
The box of the cards too.
When I hear showcases, I think of these big glass showcases with, like, you know, a shelf in the middle. My father collected Hess trucks, and he had pretty much every one. And he actually had these big glass showcases with the lights inside, all glass. What you're referring to is like something that you could lift up, right?
It's essentially what you're talking about, but it's about 6-8 inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
It's aluminum and glass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 3 feet long, 2 feet wide.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And thinking back now, I remember seeing some other footage from another camera, and it absolutely looked as though there were some cases being transported from inside of a business in Indiana into his van. That was footage that I'm sure you've seen also. So just to be clear, I wanted people to realize. What was that, Andy? I'm sorry, Andy. I talked over you. What?
Oh, I said it was the beginning of that live stream, I think.
Yeah. So, okay. So all this happens.
Inside that store.
All this happens to you. Obviously, to say it's a punch in the gut is an understatement, because this is pretty much your whole life's work. Since you said yourself you were little and you had been collecting these things, and you started trading them, and you started selling them, and you started selling them on eBay, and then you were selling them online, and then, you have the online presence, you decide to have a store, you have the store for about 3 years or more, and then what percentage of your inventory was taken about? So
that's a kind of a trick question, because percentage-wise, like, number of cards, not very large. However, value-wise, more than half.
Right. So
that's the best stuff that we had, pretty much. We have about 1 million commons, but all those 1 million commons will equal up to a couple of the most expensive cards that he took. Out of thousands. So,
you find
and it keeps becoming like a bigger punch in the gut, because every time I'm like going through there and finding another thing that's gone, like I had to cancel $125 orders of one card because I didn't realize he had taken that card until somebody bought it. Right.
So you go through the entire process. The police, they investigate. They get the license plate and the description of the gentleman, and they figure out who he is, and they know his name, and they say that it's Michael Kenny. Do you have any doubt? What was that?
They identified him at like the 36-hour mark. They notified me they identified their suspect and were looking for him.
Okay. So since they were looking for him because of this crime, does Mr. Kenny have a warrant out of Florida for his arrest?
Yes. If he is essentially found anywhere in any United States territory, he will be extradited to Alachua County.
Okay. And you know that for a fact because, of course, you're the store owner, and this was your business that he burglarized. And you knew about this warrant from what point? When the investigation was over? Did they tell you we have a warrant out for his arrest?
I believe it was somewhere at like the 2 to 3 week mark. I spoke with the state attorney, and not only had they increased the charges against him, but they had issued the warrant.
Okay.
And it is nationwide.
So this nationwide warrant has been valid and active since pretty much the end of July.
Yeah. Okay. Unless the state attorney is lying to me, but I doubt that.
No, because I've actually, I told you I've spoken with the investigator on this. I'm not going to put his name out there because I don't want these morons that still don't believe it to be, harassing this guy when he's trying to do his job. So, there's a lot of people on here, Andy, that are, believe it or not, sticking up for this guy. They are, they don't believe there's a warrant. Even though, we've said there's a warrant, even though one of his good friends back in July, I have a video posted where she said there was a warrant, but people don't believe there's a warrant. So one of the reasons why, again, we wanted to do this live tonight is because we wanted to hear your story. So people that are listening, whether they're in this live right now or listening from the outside, we wanted to have you on here and be able to talk about your experience with it, and not let any of these people that are trying to downgrade what he's done, to hear from an actual victim, because there's so many victims on this app of his, but you are a victim in absolute real life where he violated, your store, something that you thought was safe. And, he stole a lot of stuff from you, which has cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what have you been doing? Like, have you moved back into that store or no?
So we never really moved out per se. We we had to board it up for a while because he literally caused structural damage to the building when he used his truck to rip the back door off. Well, he didn't rip it off the hinges, but he ripped the lock off and broke the entire frame of the door in the process. But we've basically just been trying to rebuild, I've been looking for a lot of cards because now I have way too many video games as opposed to not enough expensive cards.
Right.
We've been actually designing some new showcases kind of from the ground up, which we're pretty excited about. We're actually going to be going to Ohio to get them from the manufacturer soon. So that's going to be fun, looking through a road trip.
That's good. So you all...
I'm hoping to be reopened in the store by the end of October.
Oh, good.
That's kind of my goal right now. It took a while, but we had to go through the entire inventory of a few 100,000 cards that we have listed online and go, this one's here, that one's not here anymore, that one's here. So that took over a month.
And I have to say, one of the things, Andy, that really pissed me off is that when this happened, okay, and we put out the police report, about this whole stuff, the videos and all that. And do you believe that these people that believe that Michael can do no wrong, their first thing that they threw out there was they thought it was an insurance scam? Can you believe that?
Yeah, insurance doesn't cover theft for this kind of thing. So there isn't even a claim to look at.
Mm-hmm. So that, forget about that one, that was ridiculous to me. Again, there was so much deflecting on the part of people that support this guy.
If you don't believe it, just go and look at his arrest record in 2020 when he was arrested and convicted for stealing Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh yeah, we've showed that stuff. We've showed that stuff. Do you know that he actually jokes about that? He thinks it's hilarious.
Stupid.
Yeah. So.
I honestly kind of part of me feels a little bit bad for him because he's very clearly mentally ill and not well. And despite the fact that he's done horrible things, I hate seeing anybody in that kind of state.
Right. No, believe me. Those of us who have had our differences with him and our run-ins with him, you're not saying anything we all haven't felt. So, don't feel badly about that. You've been, you're getting new showcases. You're trying to rebuild, your inventory that you had. Can you a ballpark estimate here, Andy? Since a majority of your big ticket items, meaning the cards, since they were taken on July 9th, from that point until when you open up the doors hopefully at the end of October. Do you have an estimate on how much you have lost financially by not having that store? And I'm not talking about like the cards that were stolen and all that. I'm talking about the people coming into your store, not only because of the Pokemon cards, but other things that you sell in there. Do you have an estimate on how much you've lost in revenue?
It's so impossible to say because who knows what like incredible cards would have walked through the door during that time and what opportunities I missed out on by not being able to be open in that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just if you want to average it out, I lost probably at least $20,000 in income, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, you know, looking at average day to day. The only good thing about it is at least it happened during the summer when it's hot out.
Right, because less people. Is it because a lot less people are going to flea markets during that time?
There's definitely a fall off. A big part of the fall off in the area is actually because it's a college town.
Right.
So 40 to 50% of the population just leaves during the summer and goes home.
Yep. I hear you. And that makes sense. That makes sense. So, you know, first of all, you know, when Breezy reached out to you, and she told you that I had started a GoFundMe to try to find this guy. First of all, is that okay with you? Was that okay with you?
Oh yeah, for sure. If it for like a reward for conviction, that's definitely okay.
Yeah, I'm giving it to anybody that gives information that leads to his arrest. I don't even really care about a conviction because I'm so sure he's going to get convicted. I didn't even word it like that. You know, for him to be arrested.
You want to put conviction just because like they could arrest him and not even like realize he has a warrant or anything and screw up and then let him loose. Because I think it's already happened once. Yeah,
but I'm going to tell...
Not to pay somebody for letting them loose, you know?
Right, but I'm going to tell you that there's enough eyes and ears out there that if he gets picked up anywhere, they're going to know that he's got warrants out from all over the place. So, you know, I wouldn't worry about that.
Honestly, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
But nothing would surprise me at this point.
Tell me something. I want you to tell people about you also, and we talked about this a day or two ago. Can you tell the people that are listening now about the reward that you are offering?
Yeah, so I'm offering $10,000 to anybody who can provide information, essentially that will lead to his conviction. And I would also pay another $5,000 for any information that leads to a conviction for anybody who's either harbored him or worked alongside of him to do the robbery.
So aiding and abetting.
Yes.
Okay.
Either in the case or in the crime itself.
Okay. Tell me something. How are you? The email is bolo.michaelkinney@gmail.com. How would you like people to reach out to you? Would you like them to call the police department because they do have a tip line? Would you like them to email to the bolo at michaelkinney.com? How would you like to deal with that?
Honestly, they should. I feel like the best way to go about it would be to just alert all channels, you know.
Okay.
Feel free to message me on Instagram or Swamped Collectibles on both.
Yep.
Email is good too. And also contact the Alachua County Sheriff. They are the investigators.
Yep.
That way if you contact everybody, it can't be missed.
Yep. I think that's a good idea. Let me see if I can put the information with the, how do you pronounce it? Is it Alachua?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put the tip line up here for the Alachua County, the tip hotline. If I can, do I have that post? Yeah, I can put it on my iPad here. I'll put that tip line. So anybody that wants to contact them, please call this number. So listen, do me a favor. First of all, is there anything else that you would like to add that maybe we haven't said yet? To try to convince people to do the right thing and to, reach out. The number for, I can tell you the number for the police, their tip line is an anonymous. When you get information, if somebody emails you on your Facebook, you're going to supply police with that information, but you're not going to put their name out there, right?
Was that about me? Or?
Yeah, no, that was about that. No, that was about you. That was about you.
No, unless they tell me they want me to, of course, but
Right.
I just essentially forward the information that I'm given.
Okay.
Copy and paste the message.
Yep. Okay. So they can reach out to you regarding that, and regardless if somebody reaches out to you or to me, all the information is going to go to the officer that is investigating your case. And as you are going to do, I'm going to stay true to that $2,000 reward money, because I think the best bet at Michael being incarcerated or arrested is somebody who knows him on this app. I know that his information has been posted in other areas, on Facebook, on IG, on a number of places. So the possibility of getting some tips from other social media is definitely a possibility. But other than that, is there anything else you want to tell people? Because I know you're busy. I don't want to keep you on here all
I just want to
night.
reiterate about the reward, in case anybody's, worried about it. I already have the funding is secured, even if he has many accomplices. So don't be afraid, if you know where he is, to contact the authorities and let them know. And once he's convicted, you will have a lot of money to collect.
And I wanna read something here. Okay, this is regarding aiding and abetting in Florida. Let me read you what it says here. Aiding and abetting someone with a warrant from Florida is a crime that can lead to felony charges with penalties ranging from fines to prison time, depending on the underlying crime severity. To be convicted, prosecutors must prove that you knowingly assisted the person to help them avoid arrest, trial, or punishment after they committed a crime. Actions like hiding a person, lying to police, or providing them with money, a getaway vehicle, or other resources can be considered aiding and abetting. What constitutes aiding and abetting? You knowingly help someone who has committed a crime to avoid detection, arrest, or punishment. You provide resources like money, a getaway car, or a place to hide. You lie to police or create a false alibi for the person. You help the person dispose of evidence. Excuse me. The penalties in Florida again.
If you did help him and aid him in any way, if you know where he is and you are responsible for him being caught and convicted, I am willing to overlook that because people make mistakes.
Yep.
But you did the right thing in the end.
Yep. But on the other hand, if somebody has aided and abetted him in any of those ways, and Michael is arrested, and it comes out in the investigation that somebody sent him money, somebody knew where he was, somebody let him stay at their place, and let's be clear about this. Everybody on TikTok knows about this, on what we call this side of TikTok. Okay, everybody knows since at least mid-July that he...
been on some local news stations as well.
Yep, but everybody on here, everybody that knows him, everybody that goes into his lives, everybody that goes into his boxes during his lives, they know that there are criminal charges against him in Florida. And after tonight's live, there's going to be no doubt that he has a warrant out in Florida. And it is extraditable in all 50 states.
Either, because there's people who have criminal charges for like smoking weed or something, which is pretty stupid. But this is a Class 1 felony. Is it Class A or Class 1? Do they use numbers or?
It's a 1. It's a 1.
Essentially, the highest degree of felony.
It's a 1. It's a felony 1.
Class 1 felony.
Yep. Yep.
I'm terrible at remembering whether things are classified as numbers and letters, numbers, that kind of thing I'm bad with.
You're fine. Let me continue to read this for those people listening. Severity of the underlying crime. The seriousness of the charges against you is often tied to the seriousness of the crime the other person committed. So we're talking about aiding and abetting still. Important considerations. You do not have to have witnessed the original crime, but you must have known or had enough information to believe the offense was committed. You can be charged even if you were not present when the crime occurred. Let me get to the end of this here. In practice, penalties for aiding and abetting can sometimes be lighter than for the person who committed the crime, but this is not guaranteed. So that
and I want to say, too, by anybody who is found to have aided and abetted them, I have a very good legal team.
Yeah, you were telling me about your family, right?
Yeah. We're made of nothing but lawyers and attorneys. We'll eat you alive.
I think that's a great way to end this.
If you know where he is, just turn him in. That's all you need to do.
Yep.
Yep. One phone call.
Yep. I agree. Well, listen, Andy, I'm not going to hold you any longer. I've had you on here for an hour. Yeah. I wish you luck. Will you do me a favor? Obviously, we are in the Discord group with the people that have been, looking into some of these tips and all that. Can you please keep us posted in there regarding, your store and the reopening, all of that? We will keep you posted on anything we hear. Anything we hear, obviously, will be given to you and to the investigating officer. I hope that, this comes to an end soon, in terms of holding him accountable for what he's done to you, to your business, to your family. He is nothing but a criminal on the run. And, to me, I don't know how anybody can continue to support him, considering, especially after hearing you and hearing your story. I would guess that nobody would want to be in the position you're in. And I guarantee you they wouldn't be making up excuses if they were in your position for him. So, I thank you for coming in. And Breezy, thank you for setting up this conversation with him tonight. I appreciate that. But Andy, good luck to you. Thank you. It's been nice meeting you.
I really appreciate everything that you guys have been doing, helping me with, the investigation, keeping me informed, because I don't even use TikTok.
Right.
So, I don't know how to navigate the app, to begin with.
I know that. And that's why we're doing this. For everybody that's listening, that's why we're doing this the way we are, because, you had said that TikTok's not your thing. So, that's why we're doing this by call, because we were concerned that you weren't going to be able to get into this live in a box and all that. So again, shout out to Breezy for setting this up. Andy, I wish you nothing but luck. We'll be in touch with all the people in the boxes here in Discord. Thank you and good luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care, Andy.
You have a good one, all right?
You too. So guys, that puts a voice to the crime. You've heard his story. And again, if it was somebody you knew in real life, it was a relative, a brother, a sister, a parent, and it happened to you, I guarantee you would want justice. And justice is making the person who committed the crime be held accountable for it. So again, the email is bolomichaelkinney@gmail.com. If you have any information on it, I want to pull up a couple things. This is interesting. I want to play this video quickly. This is from July, okay? And this is, let me play it. I'm just going to let it.
They did a live and read an affidavit that was sworn out on Thursday in Alachua County that had security footage of what looks to be Florida man, what looks to be a van. That's a man in a van. Drives. And they swore a warrant on Thursday, the detective did, alleging that he broke into this business at a flea market and stole over $50,000 of collectibles. This Facebook is said business collectibles Facebook page, right? So there's a warrant for him for felony, whatever, over 50 grand in Alachua County. That's the breaking. I don't see a warrant. They did a live and read an affidavit that was sworn out on Thursday.
So I want you guys to understand why I played that. That was in July. So people who are friends with Florida Man were aware in July of what was going on. So, part of what I was reading about the Florida laws regarding aiding and abetting, and what did it say? It said you don't have to be there. You don't have to be part of the crime in order to be found guilty. So anybody who was in that live who heard and just heard about the criminal charges, they are at that point aware of what's happening. And that was July. So that was 3 months ago. That was 3 months ago. I'm trying to find somebody who has a picture of, I want to get that. I want to get that number.
We have more proof of the warrant as well for people saying, I want to see the warrant. Florida does not show every warrant. Like, even if you look at the Florida website, because I looked at the one people are using where you search felony warrants in Florida, the website even says itself, not all warrants are going to be on here. It's not always going to be 100% accurate. Contact your local sheriff's office for better information. So that is the way to confirm it, which it has been, and you'll find that out in a little bit. So I just wanted to clear that up too.
Thank you. Do you guys know off the top of your head who has a video on here that has the tip line, the phone number? Remember, I made that screenshot of Florida Man with the email and the phone number. Yeah, somebody found his charges using Chat GPT, by the way. So, you know, they're out there. Tiff, you did it? Okay, let me pop you. I'm going to pull up your page here so I can show it. And then if anybody wants to take a screenshot of it.
Oh, it was Retina's page. They said originally posted it.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the post that I had.
Oh, okay.
That was taken down because it was reported. What a shock. Yeah, I can't find it. I'll post it again. With the tip line number and all that. Hold on, Retina. I'll bring you up in like 2 seconds. What do I want? I know what I want to do now. Tiff, I don't see it on your page. Retina, do you have it on your page with the phone number and the
if Texas Tiff reposted it, it might still be gone if it was.
It was reposted it? Okay, it was reposted. Let me check here. Oh, Retina, yep. Is it on yours? Hey, Retina.
I'm just gonna post it.
Oh, good. Can you, there, thank you. Okay, so guys, this is the information here. Please take a screenshot of it. The email for contact me is bolomichaelkinney@gmail.com or call Alachua County. The tip line is 1. Can we turn off comments for a minute, guys, so we could get this? Oh, that's actually a good screenshot. 1-352-372-786. I believe it's 7. I can't see because of the boxes. I believe it's 7867. Yes?
Yeah, 7867.
Okay.
667.
Okay, thanks. So again, the tip line 1-352-372-786. A reward for the apprehension, and this is for anybody with a warrant in their county, not just Mike, for anybody. Call them, give them the tip, and I know that Andy will, Andy will hold up his end of the bargain for his money for a reward, and yeah, and I'll hold up mine. I mean, I have no problem with that because, again, this is a double-edged sword here. The first one is holding him accountable for his warrant. Okay, and again, you heard Andy's story tonight. And as I started doing this too, it's because me and hundreds of other people on this app are sick of the bullshit that he's put everybody through. So it's really a win-win for a bunch of people, not only the the store owner, although, he's the one who's been affected the most. So, okay. So that's that part of what we're talking about, tonight. Scam alerted us today, in our Discord that we have with Guardians of Valor, Scam Slam, me, OG, with the store owner. She received something today. Scam, do you want to tell us about what it is?
Okay, so I'll try. I'm on a cruise in the middle of the Atlantic. I'm not sure how good my connection is. And there's a lot of background noise. I apologize. But I received a phone call recording from someone who called Alachua County Sheriff's Department today and spoke with the investigator in charge of the investigation. Initially, I guess they had sent an email with some possible information about the whereabouts or situation about Florida Man. And then the sheriff's department called them back. And then they called the sheriff's department back. And when they called them back, they did record the conversation. And just to allay anybody's concerns about that, that is legal in Florida. If you look it up, law enforcement is permitted to be recorded, even though Florida is a two-party state. Law enforcement is exempt from that in the course of their job. So it is legal to record them, and permission was given to record the phone call. The person that sent me this recording and contacted me did want to remain anonymous because they are concerned about retribution from Florida Man and his cohorts. So what I did was they sent me the recording of the entire phone call, but I did cut out and redact the parts where this person was talking to protect them as the source.
And remember, because as we said, we're not going to put out the name of anybody that's trying to help with the investigation. Everybody is staying anonymous. We're not doing anything. And to be honest with you, I don't even know who this person is. Okay, this is somebody, that reached out to scam, and I'm not asking questions. She wants to keep that anonymous and give it to police. That's fine. I don't care.
So, but I can verify that they did indeed speak with the investigator that is in charge of this case, because this is the same investigator that I have spoken with and that called me back in August to try to obtain information about Florida Man's whereabouts and how to locate him. He had called me back in August trying to get information, and I did give him whatever information I thought could possibly help at that time. And so this is a conversation with that same exact investigator. Now, in this recording, I did bleep his name and his contact information out because I don't want anybody harassing this investigator. But if people call with legitimate tips, they can get in contact with this person. So the recording that you are going to hear does have the initial tip caller has their conversation cut out to protect the source and protect your anonymity. Yeah. But it does have all of the commentary and verbiage from the investigator from Alachua County, verifying that he does have an active warrant, that it is extraditable amongst all 50 states. And you can hear the questions that he's asking, where he is wanting information and encouraging people to call and email with any information.
Scam, we'll play it. We'll play it because we can hear him say that stuff.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks, Scam. Okay, here we go, guys.
Okay, my name is the Sheriff's Office. I received an email that you had sent to the Sheriff's Office regarding a Michael Kinney. Yeah, I would be concerned as well. You never know in today's day and age who people really are. Where do y'all live? Yeah, Mr. Kinney does have an active warrant for his arrest out of Florida. Do you have a phone number for him by chance? TikTok and Discord? Okay. Have you been talking to him for a little while? The reason I ask, I'm the one investigating his warrant to get him back to Florida to face the charges in the criminal justice system. Yeah, the white van. Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't do anything you don't want to do, obviously, and that's for my behalf. I just asking through your interaction with him if you know a town or a phone number, or, I mean, I know his Florida Man accounts, all that stuff he uses online. Yeah, I don't know. I've talked to numerous people about him that have had negative contact, shall we say. I don't know the man from Adam. Just a name on a piece of paper to me. Yeah, he does have a warrant for his arrest. You got a pen and paper handy? It is the letter ACSO.US. That stands for Alaska County Sheriff's Office, ACSO. No, if he gets arrested anywhere in the United States, he's coming back to Florida. He has nationwide extradition. Not trivial. Good for that, yeah. When was the last time you heard from him? 2 days ago, TikTok or Discord, you said?
There you go. Tell me again, Mallory, tell me again how he doesn't have a warrant. Tell me.
Scammy, is there anybody that can show the actual video that I did? Because it shows the captions, so that way you can actually hear everything. You can see what the words are.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll replay it right now. In fact, everybody get your screen recording device ready, because I will play it with the captions. So there won't be. Do we want to shut the comments off? Can somebody do that for me, please? Comments? Anybody? One of my mods, can you shut the comments off, please? Okay, thank you. Okay, here we go.
Okay, my name's Investigator Sheriff's Office. I received an email that you had sent to the Sheriff's Office regarding a Michael Kinney. Yeah, I would be concerned as well. You never know in today's day and age who people really are. Where do y'all live? Yeah, Mr. Kinney does have an active warrant for his arrest out of Florida. Do you have a phone number for him by chance? TikTok and Discord? Okay. Have you been talking to him for a little while? The reason I ask, I'm the one investigating his warrant to get him back to Florida to face the charges in the criminal justice system. Yeah, the white van. Okay, yeah, I mean, guys, don't do anything you don't want to do. Obviously, it's nothing for my behalf. I just asking through your interaction with him if you know a town or a phone number, or, I mean, I know his Florida man accounts on stuff he uses online. Yeah, I mean, I've talked to numerous people about him that have had negative contact, shall we say. I don't know the man from Adam. Just a name on a piece of paper to me. Yeah, he does have a warrant for his arrest. He got a pen and paper handy? It is at the letter ACSO.US. That stands for Alaska County Sheriff's Office, ACSO. No, if he gets arrested anywhere in the United States, he's coming back to Florida. He has nationwide extradition. Not trivial. Good for that, yeah. When was the last time you heard from him? 2 days ago. TikTok or Discord, you said? He likes that thing. Okay, well, yeah, I appreciate it. Like, if he says anything about a phone number, email address, or, location, that'd be great, but don't do anything to put yourself in any kind of situation. Has he been anything about, like, driving around in the van, or is he pretty much, like, parked? Okay. Well, if you happen to want to call, like, a phone number or any aliases besides Florida man stuff he uses online and stuff like that would be great information. If you'd care to share it to me by email, I would appreciate it. Sure, sounds great. Thank you, ma'am. Bye. Okay, my name's Investigator Sheriff's Office.
So there it is. And I want to thank the person who reached out to Scam and felt comfortable enough to contact her regarding this. And Scam, I know as you said, you're on a cruise right now, and yet you were able to take care of this stuff for us today, and I appreciate that very, very much.
And anyone, you can call and find this out, confirm it. But it has to be the sheriff's office. That's who's handling the case. So if you're calling like police department, it's completely separate. The investigator that's over it, or just have any of them look it up, they can. Yep. He has an active warrant.
Yep. So, Guardians of Valor, is there anything you would like to add to this?
I mean, I'm not going to disclose what areas we've been searching
Exactly.
or anything like that. I've been in contact with the investigator as well. He's aware of everything that we are doing, and he is completely agreeable with it. So, you know, I've received a few messages that we shouldn't get involved. We have every right to get involved. So, I was asked about his plate number. I'm not going to give that out publicly. I mean,
No.
if you really have a need for his plate number, you can message me and I'll think about it. I mean, I'm just not going to give it out generally I don't think it's a good idea. But he's going to get caught. And, you know, I have a whole net on the East Coast and Midwest searching for him. It's just a matter of time. I know everybody wants instant results, but unfortunately, you know, Mike's good at hiding and evading. He's been doing it his whole life. So just be patient, and eventually he's going to get caught. And it's probably going to be for something small.
Tell me, so without going into, I'm not going to go into details of where the location was, Guardian, but over the weekend, we got a tip about a possibility of where he was, okay? And this was like on
Yes.
Saturday, if you remember correctly, and we're not going to say where it was. Tell everybody the short amount of time it took for you to have somebody with eyes on and feet on the ground in that.
Of, but another unit was dispatched. So within 20 minutes, they were in the area searching.
Yeah. And then, right,
Self,
right.
and gave them all the info, pictures, descriptions, and then I finally got through to the police department, and they were there within probably 25, 30 minutes at the most.
Don't say your name.
Absolutely. No, I think it's been out there enough recently. But anyways, I enlisted in the Navy in 1976, and I served in 2001 as a gunner's mate. I rose to the rank of senior chief. I served all across the world, many different duty stations. After I retired from the Navy, I went to work for the Department of Defense as a consultant, not a federal employee, where I consulted on weapon systems for the Navy.
Thank you for your service.
Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate the support.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And tell me, you know, I about on this app. I was trying to figure it out.
I
Maybe
would
about a little
probably
less than a year.
say, yeah, a little less than a year.
And, you know,
I
Tell-
got into
go on.
awareness prior to
Right.
that other fallout there. I never really did
Right.
awareness. I stole them valor.
Right.
And I try to help people if they come to me the best I can.
And yeah, that's what I wanted to. GOV has helped a lot of people on this app, people that you don't even know about. Okay. And he's helped me a number of times with stuff had to do on this app. And as I said, he's helped a lot of people on this app. One of the things that he said when I was in a live talking about this a couple days ago, and I wanted to put this out there again. We know that there are people that are afraid of Mike, afraid of what he might, people that are afraid to talk up because of it. If anybody is having any problems like that, please reach out to Guardians of Alex. Out to Guardians of Alex. His name to anybody who, is worried about Mike doing something to them or, has information, but they're afraid. Please reach out to him because he is a solid guy. There are very few people on this app that have my phone number, my personal phone number. He's one of them. I think I can count the rest of the people on one hand because I trust him. I trust him with everything.
I appreciate more than you know. And there are people that are in fear, literally deathly afraid of him. And I don't think it's so much him, it's what he does, his
Right.
actions.
Right.
You know, I mean, he's nothing to be afraid of, honestly. I mean, he got lumped up pretty good last year, because he runs. There's steps you can take to protect yourself, but you can also do it anonymously too. You can come to me or Scammy or anybody in here if you have information, and we'll take the lead on it and keep.
Both of those track locations when they're in use. Not only
I can say that I have not done that yet forward, and not have to do that.
a little tiny like globe picture next to it that actually tracks where you made that post from, right? And I know personally when he's
I think absolutely there are people know where he is. I could be wrong, but my opinion is. So
And the sheriff sounded like he was, even if that's all you have, that sheriff sounded like, I mean, that video, he said, do you have a phone number? Do you have an email? So anything, even that small could help.
Yeah. Like I compared it to a couple days ago. This is like a huge puzzle, and any information, anything that you may not even think is a big deal, that you can give. I posted, all of that information is going to go to the same place. It's going to go to the police. Puzzle, all it is. So, that's the best thing to do.
I'm sure you are aware of this, but for everybody else that watches him or tunes in when he does go live, I'm assuming he's either A, going to be super egotistical and go live right away and run his jaws, or he'll go into hiding again for a few days. But there are always times when who you are, catch anything. Sometimes the sidewalk has.
Yep, I agree with that. So, to kind of wrap up this whole thing, okay, with the Florida man investigation.
Can I just say one thing, Scammy?
Please.
Florida is they're one of the strictest states when it comes to their felony warrants. And what's going to happen here eventually is Alachucha County is going to contact the U.S. Marshals. And once they do that, it's going to be over for Mike, because the U.S. Marshals will literally hunt him down. And that's what's going to happen eventually, because this is a big felony. They want him, and they want him bad. So they're only going to wait for so long before they contact the U.S. Marshals.
Correct. And, he, as you said, he's very good. You can tell, like a couple nights ago when he was in Mikey's live and Pastor Petty was pretty much bitch slapping him all over the app. You could hear he was driving somewhere, and he was driving for a long time. He's constantly on the move. I don't think he stays in a place very long, because he can't. Eventually something's going to happen. He's going to get pulled over for a minor traffic violation. Something, anybody with the information that leads to his arrest, and in Angie's case, the conviction, you're looking at reward money of upwards $17,000, and that's if somebody was involved and is involved with him and knows where he is right now. So, times are tough. 15,000, 17, whatever it is, that's a good amount of money. Regardless of that, do the right fucking thing, people. Do the right thing.
And rewards are non-taxable.
Ooh. Good.
Yeah, it's
New
not considered
car,
income.
That could be a down payment on a home.
Yeah.
That could be anything.
That's life
And
changing.
his warrant
That's
is
life
in the
changing.
NCIC system. So no matter where he's pulled, even if it's in the smallest town in the rural Kansas, it's in the NCI system. They're going to run his name and it's going to flag it.
That's good to know.
So, I mean, if you think
So-
he's innocent or you think tell him to go into a police department and give him
Yep, exactly.
his real
Exactly.
name and have him run his
Right.
name.
Yep.